Start us off with something?
I don't need to start us off. It won't be worth
Was it?
You can just go ahead and open it up.
Any questions for Coach Self? If you have a question, please raise your hand. We have microphone stewards that'll bring the microphone to you. Please identify yourself by name and media outlet, and then we'll take your question. Let's start off on the back right on the aisle.
Seat didn't come down. Hey, Bill, how you doing? Harold Kutz, Fox 4. I want to ask you a question about Christian Braun and DeJuan Harris's relationship. It goes back a little while. You know, what have you kind of learned from those two that they've become good friends over the years? I'm sure you've seen the picture circulating around too. Like, what do you learn from those two that made them know that they were great friends?
I think that they have been boys since sixth grade, if I'm not mistaken. And, of course, DeJuan's from Columbia and Christian there. Well, he was in Burlington, but now in the Overland Park area, and they played on the same AAU team. And so I know that they spent a ton of time together in the summertime when the kids from out of the area would come and stay in Kansas City area to practice. So they're great friends. They're like brothers. They bring the best out in each other. They rag on each other. I would say are critics of each other, but you can tell that they truly love each other. I mean, it is a unique relationship, and I really feel like the Brown family has done a lot for a lot of kids outside their family, but has probably done as much for DeJuan as anybody, and played a crucial role in helping him with his life.
All right, thank you very much. Now we're going to go up to the front on the right side. Adam.
Hey, Bill. Adam Zagoria, New York Times. I just had kind of a fun question for you about suits versus casual wear. Jay was just in here, said he didn't pack a single suit for this trip and plans to wear 3/4 zips and sweats. Do you think coaches are ever going to go back to wearing suits, or are they just going to keep wearing casual wear? And is it good for the game? Are you fine with it?
Well, coaching against Jay, I'm very happy there's no wardrobe suits, because nobody could compete with him in that regard. But I kind of like the way we're doing it. I do. I hope it stays casual moving forward. I think leagues will probably have a lot to do with what the coaches do, because in our league we voted to unanimously do this, and so we're kind of bound by that. I guess it could be year to year, but I like the direction it's moving, and it's certainly a little bit more comfortable, and you save money on dry cleaning. So
There's that too. On the left side in the third row.
Hi, Samir Malla from the U.S. Basketball Writers Association. Bill, do you have any superstitions, pregame or during the game superstitions?
I'm not superstitious at all. I just think there's certain routines that work a lot better than others. I seriously, on game days, I wear similar clothes. I eat the same food every meal. My routine is almost exactly the same. And if I find something that works, I'll definitely stick with it. But I would consider myself semi-superstitious, but probably not like a baseball manager that would never walk on the chalk line or anything like that.
All the way in the back on the right side.
Hey, Coach Self. Nathan Sanji, LSU Student News Service. I'm wondering, what is something that you and your staff have done to really block out the noise this week and just focus on Villanova?
I don't know that we've really done a lot, except limit their probably access to anything other than us, so to speak. You know, we got here Wednesday night, and we were all together the entire night Wednesday night. Last night we were all together. Players apart from coaches, but we've done everything together, and the only free time with the schedule that we've been on have been kind of late afternoons, and guys usually like to nap around that time, so it hasn't been that difficult. I guess if you watched ESPN or sports all the time, or if you lived on your phone all the time, you can certainly be distracted by that. But I want our guys to enjoy it. I don't plan on taking their phones from them. I've done that in 2008. We took their phones from them because I didn't want to take any chances. But I really want the guys to enjoy it, and I think that we're acting mature enough that we can. So I actually trust them.
On the right side, Dan.
Yeah, Dan Walken, USA Today. Bill, there was a lot of discussion here yesterday with Dr. Emmert about the length of time it's taking for enforcement cases to be finished. This will be 3 full seasons for you played since your notice of allegations. What do you make of that timeline that you guys have operated under and where it's going from here?
Well, I can't comment on anything that's ongoing with the case about anything, but I do hope that the end is soon. I believe we're getting closer, and I know that no one probably from any party has wanted this to go as long as it has, but I do believe the end is soon.
We're going to go up front with the Tulane Hullabaloo.
Yes. Coach Self, are you using your 2012 runners-up experience here to inspire your team to finish the job this year in New Orleans?
We've talked about it that we were here, but I'm not a big believer on the past having a ton to do with what happens next. In 18 we got it handed to us pretty good, obviously, by the same team or same program, not the same team, and that's been mentioned, but we haven't dwelled on that. So all we're trying to do is live in the present and learn from the past, but certainly live in the present.
Coach, we're going to try to be tech forward and go to Zoom, where we have David Melandra Jr., Philly Sports Blitz. Go ahead, David.
Hey, Coach, quick question for you. Were there any teams in the Big 12 this season resemble any of the style that Villanova plays?
No, not really. Our team was very defensive oriented, and we had some of the best defensive teams in the country in our league. But even from that standpoint, there was some, there was common thread about, not breaking down, be sound, those sorts of things. But how the ball was forced and the switching and things like that was certainly a little bit different. So I don't believe that we've gone against anybody during our regular season that would actually prepare us for the style that Villanova plays. I mean, we've got guys in our league that may post guards, but we don't have guys in our league that have guards get the ball at 20 feet and dribble into a post up. It's totally different and certainly not easy to prepare for.
Is there anything you can remember from the last time you played Villanova in the Final Four?
I get tics whenever I think about it. So I remember we started the game off on a 2-0 run. That was about the highlight of that particular game. I actually watched it this week, and they were fabulous. They were that to me. We had a chance to play Kentucky in 12 in the finals, and to me, that was the best team of that 5 or 6 year period that I had seen in college basketball, and I really felt like the team that Villanova had in 18 was the best college basketball team in the last decade. I really believe that.
Coach, coming back to the room, we're going to go to the left side. We have 2 questions over there.
Hey, Coach. Len Jennings with KNBC. Just playing in the bubble last year and then having this experience, going out and practicing in front of the fans, what does it mean for you to have March Madness backs for you and your players?
I think 2 years ago the tournament was taken from all of us, as many things across the world were. That was probably a year where our team was probably equipped to do quite well. We had a nice squad and was probably going to be we would have been a 1 seed and probably the number 1 overall seed, which doesn't guarantee success, but certainly we'd been in the game, and that obviously was taken from everybody. And then last year it wasn't the same. I mean, the way that the year ended for us, when we were playing our best ball of the year, and we had 2 starters get COVID going into the tournament, and that kind of annihilated us. But so this is the first time since 2019 that we've actually had a tournament that we've actually feel like we participated in and had a chance. And even though that year we didn't perform well, so I'm excited. I think our players are are excited. Several of them were on the 20 team that may have had a real chance, and so we're jacked to be here, and we're soaking it all in.
Coach, staying on that left side about midway back.
Mick Schaefer, KSHB 41. Coach, every press conference we ask about Remy, and he's had a great tournament, but DeJuan's still the starting point guard. How has he handled all of this and all the Remy talk in the less minutes?
Well, he doesn't care. I mean, Juan is having the time of his life, and if anybody had ever really studied Juan's road to get to Kansas, would understand why he would be happy with whatever is thrown his way. He's a remarkable young man, and for anybody to go through that much hardship and family tragedy is what he has is truly incredible that a guy of his age could handle it as well as he has. And so Juan could care less. And I'll be candid with you. Remy may care, but he didn't care much either. So they've got a pretty good partnership going.
Let's go up front to the right. Zach from the Lawrence Journal-World. Let's go all the way up front. All the way up front. There we go.
Yeah, Zach Boyer from the Lawrence Journal-World. Bill, at what point in this weekend does it start to hit you that you're going to play these last games with guys like Och and David? And just when does that emotion start to set in?
It hasn't set in probably yet. I told him this morning when we finished practice, I said, I know you guys can't wait to get rid of me, but why don't we do this one more time? You know, that would be my goal, is to have one more practice. So, you know, when things don't end great, and that happens for probably, 50% of America, sometimes the end outweighs the journey. In this particular situation, the end will equal or surpass the journey. And so I think there's a unique closeness that we all feel towards each other that is, and for a lot of different reasons of things that's transpired this year, but I'm going to miss those guys, but I hadn't even thought about playing without them yet. That's something that we'll postpone till whenever the end is here, and hopefully it won't be for 72 or so more hours.
Second row, right side. Did you have your hand up? Okay, let's go to Matt in the third row then.
Thank you. Matt Tate, Lawrence Journal-World. Coach, you just mentioned you watched 2018 this week. You've largely tried to avoid that. Why'd you watch it this week?
Well, I didn't really watch it to try to, have memories. I watched it to see, when they backed their guards down, did they have the same action off the ball and stuff like that. So, and when I said I watched it, I got through about 12 minutes of it, and after that, it was very obvious that I wasn't going to learn very much from it. Yeah, there's other tapes to watch. So, but that was probably good for me to see, just from the standpoint of how dangerous they can be when they've got it cooking, which they're capable of, because they got guys that can stretch it from all spots.
We'll be joined in just a moment by Ochai, Abaji, Jalen Wilson, Christian Brown, and DeJuan Harris. If you have a question for Coach Self, please raise your hand. Let's go all the way up front. There's the microphone.
CJ Moore, The Athletic. Bill, you've had this group for a couple of years now, and it seems like when you try to teach them a lesson, they've had experience with it, right? That those words mean something. What do you think it does to have a team that's been together this long, that core? How does that help when you get to this stage?
Well, I said this all along. I mean, experience is important. I don't believe that experience trumps talent. But having both, I think, is the remedy for success more than anything else. And I think we have that. And when we won it in 08, that was also a team that lost in the first round, and that was also a team that couldn't get through the Elite Eight, and then things fell right. And so these guys have been through their heartache and been through some tough times, which I think has prepared them for these times. So I do think experience does matter.
We have time for a few more questions for Och, Jalen, Christian, or DeJuan. or Coach Self? Let's take one on the right side on the aisle.
Hello, Maya Taylor, United States Basketball Writers Association. I was just wondering for the players, you're here at the Final Four. So in what ways has basketball impacted your life the most?
Let's start with Ochai, then Jalen, then Chris, then Dewan.
Basketball, I mean, especially here at Kansas in my time here, I've met a lot of people, new faces, and a lot of new, networking and just a lot of new connections. So,
Jalen.
Yeah, I'd say basketball has definitely just brought me to my closest friends. People who I call brothers now. Memories that I'll never forget, especially in college. I mean, just definitely just brought me to a whole nother world. I mean, basketball is basically my entire life, so I don't know what I would do without it.
Christian.
Yeah, I'd say that the relationships I've built, through basketball and just traveling and, like like Jalen said, my brothers has been fun, throughout these years, and I got a lot of little bros now, so.
Dewan.
Yeah, basketball is like my everything. If I ain't had like basketball in my life, I probably wouldn't be sitting here today. So if I ain't had basketball, then I'll probably be doing something I ain't supposed to be doing. So I'm just grateful that I get to play the sport that I'm playing now.
On the right side up front, question from Dennis.
Dennis Dodd, CBS Sports. Ochai, how do you explain your journey from a guy who didn't have many offers, second semester of high school, and as a senior, to the point that yesterday your coach went out of his way to point out you could be the most decorated player at Kansas since Danny Manning?
No, I mean it's an honor. Being in the same sentence as Danny Manning and all those other great players. It just shows a lot about running your own race. A lot of people from high school, they either come out hot or they come out underrated. I think just everyone has their own path, and that's just how it is.
Let's go to the front and center of the room. Take a journey with me to Alabama.
AP Stedham, WHEP, AM and FM, Foley, Alabama. This is for the coach and all the players. What do you try to do with shooting the ball in this big venue? How do you calibrate yourself to this spacious arena and stadium? What do you tell the players, and what have you learned about shooting in this type of venue?
Coach first.
Well, I haven't mentioned it to the players. I mean, I think that we can make a bigger deal out of things than what actually exists. And bottom line is the rim seems soft to me, and depth perception seems good, and there's absolutely no reasons why we shouldn't shoot the ball well here. And that's how I'm looking at this.
Jalen and Christian, you guys want to take this? Jalen first.
I mean, we got to put up shots yesterday. About to put up some more now, and maybe after the first couple shots, it maybe feel different, but after that, it's just normal shooting.
Yeah, I say the same thing. Coach just tells us to jump up and shoot it and stop aiming it. So I'm gonna try that. Hope it works.
Toward the back of the room on the right side. A few more minutes left for questions.
Darian Carter, U.S. Basketball Writers Association. My question is for Ochai, excuse me. After winning the Midwest, you and Remy recreated the Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski Bad Boys for Life video by Diddy. What message were you guys trying to send making that video?
No, we weren't trying to send a message or anything. It was just kind of a fun media post for our fans, basically.
On the left side, about midway back.
Len Jennings, KNBC. Ochai, any thoughts that this is kind of coming, your career at Kansas is coming to an end? Have you had a chance to think about it?
Yeah. I've had a lot of time to think about it. Just my time here, and like I said, all the people that I met, all the experiences that I've had. But no, it's just it's great to be in this moment and to be ending my career like this.
On the right side, midway back.
Hi, for the players, Christina Huang, USBWA. So how has playing in such a tough defensive conference really prepared you guys for the postseason?
Duan, what do you think about that?
Really give our credit to our coach. He's on us about every single thing about anything. So if you mess up, he's going to get on you. If you mess up about the little things, he'll even get on you. So all the credit goes to coach and all the coaching staff.
And let's wrap up all the way on the left on the aisle.
Mick Schaefer, KSHB 41. Question for Dewan. What's your relationship like with Remy on and off the court?
It's great. Last night, Remy was in our room talking, me and CB's room talking. He'd be coming in there sometimes on the away game, so it's great. You know, it's fun playing with him. He gives us a lot of energy, and then he lets me get a lot of pressure off the ball, and I'll let him make plays a lot. So it's just fun being around him. He's a good player.
We'd like to thank Coach Self, Ochai, Jalen, Christian, and DeJuan for joining us here in the main interview room. They're going to hit the court for open practice.